Hey audio friend, Graham here from recordingrevolution.com. Today I want to show you how to quickly mix an acoustic song performance where you've played the acoustic guitar and sang vocals at the same time. If you've caught the previous two videos, I showed you how you can record your own guitar and vocal performance with one microphone and how to do it with two microphones should you so desire. And I've got both versions of those recordings in front of me today, and I'm going to show you how to mix both so you'll be well equipped to do either one. So let's start with the one mic performance, which is this blue track here. This was when I literally had one microphone capturing the whole thing. Take me on a crazy ride. And so what we want to do is take this hopefully well-balanced recording and enhance it. So I'm going to use a couple of tools that are available to you in your software. And again, I'll make mention here, I'm using a free piece of software to mix this. This is called Pro Tools First. It's absolutely free download. So you can do this with free stuff, and I'll use the free included plugins to do it. The most important thing you can do is use something called an EQ to sort of filter out the frequencies that don't sound so great, either in your room or just that were captured that day on the microphone, to give a more tonally pleasing performance. Let's start there. I'm going to grab an EQ here, 7-band EQ. This is kind of your standard DAW style EQ, digital EQ that you're probably looking at in most of your software. This has 7 points you can do boosts or cuts. It's 5 main points and then 2 filters, one on the top end, one on the low end. And what I like to do is just listen to the performance and then start sweeping around with extreme boosts in the low mids, the high mids, and find where there's a lot of energy in a negative way and maybe scoop some of that out. So let's just take a listen, and I will be playing around with this and then we'll address what I did. Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. I wanna see a wilder side. Show me more than I can handle. So there's a lot of energy there that just starts to compound in a negative way. That's around 225. So I think I will cut some of that out. So let's cut out a few dB of that, about 3. We'll see if that's too much. And I'll make it a little tighter. All right, let's keep going here. I wanna see a wilder side. Show me more than I can handle. Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. A lot of energy there. It just sounds really honky. I was at 1K. Let's take some of that out. About 3 dB of that. Now let's keep going. I wanna see a wilder side. Show me more than I can handle. Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. I wanna see a wilder. Punishing about 4.5K, so I might scoop out some of that. Let's see what we got so far. Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. I wanna see what I might do is try to boost a little bit in the lows just to fill out some of that bottom end. So I'm going to turn this into a shelf boost, a notch boost away from a shelf, and try to give a little bit more low end weight here just to fill out the guitar. Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. I wanna see a wilder side. Show me more than I can handle. I'll need to wake up. Alright, I need a taste of this life that's joy unspeakable and full. And then I did a little shelf boost there, which around, what was it, almost 6K open up some of the top end sheen. Now let's see if this is doing anything. Let's see if it's helping at all. So I'm going to press play and bypass the EQ. We've done 3 cuts, 2 boosts. See if we're helping.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. I wanna see a wilder side. Show me more than I can handle. I'll need to wake up. Alright, I need a taste of this life that's joy.
All right, not a drastic difference by any stretch, but I think a more presentable difference. I think it's a little more cleaned up, so the frequencies are a little more neutral and not as harsh, and it's a little fuller in the low end and a little more airy up top. Very simple stuff. So we'll start there. Next thing I'm going to probably use is a compressor. The point here is to even out the dynamics of the performance a little bit. It's hard when you got a vocal and an acoustic guitar. Sometimes the vocals will come in and it'll make the mix louder, and then you don't hear the guitar as much. And when the vocals aren't singing, you hear the guitar, you kind of want that to be brought up a bit. This will sort of even out some of those peaks and valleys and give a more upfront performance. So what I'm going to do is just keep it real neutral in general here. I don't want to be anything squashing or aggressive. So I'm going to have sort of a faster release, so let's go quickly. A slow attack, 10 milliseconds. I'll leave it there. I can go slower from there. I might do 2-to-1 ratio. And then let's dial the threshold all the way up to 0 so it's doing no compression, and I'll start to dial it down and look for a little bit of gain reduction and adjust from there.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. I wanna see a wilder side. Show me more than I can handle. I'll need to wake up. Alright, I need a taste of this life that's joy unspeakable and full to the top. Whoa, I need to wake up. Alright, I want a taste of this life.
All right, so what I'm doing there is I saw about 3 dB of gain reduction on the loud peaks. That was this meter here. And so that's turning down the mix when it gets louder. And then I'm using the gain knob to bring back up the whole track a little bit more, about 1.5 dB, so that the input and output peaks are about the same. What that's going to do basically is bring up the acoustic guitar when it's quieter in this part of the song, and quieter in between hits, and give a more upfront, consistent volume to everything. So what we can do is bypass it and see what that's doing.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. I wanna see a wilder side. Show me more than I can handle. I'll need to wake up. Alright, I need a taste of this life.
Again, subtle, but if you're noticing on good speakers or headphones, it's like when there's a gap in the singing, the acoustic guitar lifts up a bit more. And so what that does is it balances the vocal and the guitar a bit. Since we can't balance them, it's one track. It was one mono track. I can't turn up the acoustic or turn down the vocal. The compressor is kind of doing that for us, giving a more even performance. All right, and the final thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of reverb. So what I might do here is instead of putting it on the track, which would be a simple way to do it, I'm going to create a new track, new stereo aux track. And I'm going to call this reverb, which is an appropriate name. I'll solo that as well. And then what I want to do is put the reverb plugin on this track. And what we'll do is, sure, let's start with a hall. Why not? I'll leave it default settings. We'll play with it. What I need to do is use a send on my mix here to send some of this track. Let's just pull up the fader a little bit there. send some of that to this reverb track. So I'll make the input the same bus 1. So actually, I need to make that bus 1 and 2, not 1. It's a stereo bus. So if you follow what I've done, I'm using this little send to send a little copy along this bus over to the reverb unit. So that way I'll have the full volume, nice dry signal here. We won't lose any of that or blend that. We'll keep that and then we'll add a little bit of this reverb. So let me just take a listen to what this sounds like.
Take me on a crazy ride.
Sorry, solo here.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. I wanna see a wilder side. Show me more than I can handle.
So I'll use room 2. I've got it cranked just so I can hear it. And then it's got some filters. It's a high frequency cut, so I can roll off some of that top end. And let's see what that sounds like.
Take me on a crazy ride.
Let's roll off more.
Take me on a crazy ride.
And then I'm just going to dial this down a bit.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. I wanna see a wilder side.
And now let's take a listen to it in a quiet part.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. I wanna see a wilder side.
All right, so let's see what we've done so far. On this one track, I'm going to bypass the plugins, and then including the reverb, and we'll see where we've come.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. I wanna see a wilder side. Show me more than I can handle. I'll need to wake up. Alright, I need a taste of this life that's joy unspeakable and full to the top. Whoa.
Much better, right? It's a little more full, a little more forward, and then that slight room reverb gives it A, some stereo width because it has none, and B, a sense of space that is better covering up the little room that I'm in. So that's how I would approach a one-track performance. Now let's approach the 2 tracks, which is a separate deal. So this is where I recorded it in a separate video with 2 different microphones, so I have a little bit more independent control of the 2. Take a listen to what these guys sound like.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle.
And here's just the acoustic. So you can tell that obviously I can hear still some vocal in that mic, but not as much. And then here is just the vocal.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. Oh, I want.
Again, so still some bleed in there, but a lot more separation. And then we can address them independently. So let's do that. Let's work on the guitar, let's say. Knowing that whatever I boost or cut on the guitar is going to affect the vocal a little bit. The bleed is there, so it's important to keep in mind. We don't want to do anything too drastic. So with the guitar by itself, let's grab an EQ. And let's see if we can clean this up.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. Oh, I wanna see a wilder side.
Very similar place to the other track. It sounded like that guitar just had a lot of boxiness there, around 212. So we'll take out some there.
Take me on a crazy
This frequency kind of sounds like a cheap guitar to me. Whatever, that's a very subjective terminology, but you've all played those really, really affordable acoustics that we first got into. And so I'm going to take some of that out.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. Oh, I wanna see wild.
That just kind of opened up the acoustic a bit. So let's see what we've done here. 2 cuts, one boost.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. Oh, I wanna see wilder side.
Yeah, a little more clarity there. I like that. Let's compress it, because the reason here would be a little different than it was on the previous track. I'm not trying to even out the vocals to this. I'm just trying to even out the strumming pattern on this acoustic and just make it a little more strummy.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. Oh, I wanna see wilder side. Show me more than I can handle. I need to wake up. Alright, I wanna taste of.
Subtle, but a little more sense of urgency and a little more upfront. And the volume is going to bring up the quiet parts. So far, let's bypass the EQ and compression.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. Oh, I wanna see wilder side.
Better. Now let's work on the vocal here. Grab an EQ, see if we can clean up any weird frequencies here.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. Oh, I wanna see a wilder side. Show me more than I can.
So there's that same frequency as that the acoustic guitars had problems with in the vocal mic. I'm going to see if I can pull some of that out and see if that doesn't hurt the vocal, but cleans it up a bit.
Take me on a crazy ride.
Before.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle.
Yeah, it sounds about the same, so I'm not hurting the vocal. Let's keep listening.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. Oh, I wanna see wilder.
It's like distorting at like 920. Let's take out some of that. It's overloading the mic a bit. Tighten that up a bit. All right.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. Oh, I wanna see wilder side.
2.2. Let's take out some of that. All right, let's do a little bit of a high pass filter on this to roll off any low end that the acoustic might be filling up there. I don't think it'll be much, but let's see.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. Oh, I wanna see wilder side.
All right, I'm gonna do a little high shelf boost at the end.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle.
That's gonna open up the top end. That's nice. So then let's just give it a little bit of a boost here because it's a little quieter.
Take me on a crazy ride.
Let's bypass it.
Give me more than I can handle. Oh, I wanna see wilder side.
Much more pleasant. All right, and a little bit of compression to even out the vocal performance here. Same compressor. Let's go for it. See about maybe 3 dB of gain reduction.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. Oh, I wanna see wilder side. Show me more than I can handle. I need to wake up. Alright, I wanna taste of this life that its joy unspeakable.
Go back to the louder parts.
Take me on a crazy ride.
That's what I'm looking for, the peaks. I want the output peak to be about the same as the input peak at its loudest point.
Take me on a crazy ride.
Mute it, or bypass, I should say.
Take me on a crazy ride.
With.
Take me on a crazy ride.
So that should keep it about the same volume, but now the quieter part should be a little louder.
Take me on a crazy ride.
As opposed to this.
Take me on a crazy ride. Take me on a crazy ride.
Yeah, just a little bit louder. So let's bypass the EQ and compression on the vocal. See what that was doing.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. Oh, I want to see a wilder side.
All right, now what we really have to do is listen to these two together because that's the way they're going to be heard, and so we might have affected each other. So what I'm going to do is I'll start it here, and then I'll bypass the EQ and compression on both tracks.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. Oh, I want to see a wilder side. Show me more than I can handle. I need to wake up. All right, I want a taste of.
Right? More clean, more open. And then the last thing we could do is use the same reverb. We can send, what we can literally do here in Pro Tools is just copy the same send that we used on the previous version. So I'm sending a little bit of the guitar and a little bit of the vocals, and now we have independent sends. We can send more of the guitar into the reverb or more of the vocal or vice versa. And we can take a listen to what that sounds like as well.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. Oh, I want to see you wild.
Right? So now that we're in business, let's bypass everything we've done, EQs, compressors, and the reverb on this performance.
Take me on a crazy ride. Give me more than I can handle. Oh, I want to see a wilder side. Show me more than I can handle. I need to wake up. All right, I want a taste of this life that's joy unspeakable and full to the top. Oh, I need to wake up. All right, I want a taste of this life.
And what's cool is if you do have the vocal separate from the guitar, you could then experiment with sending the vocal to, let's say, a delay. It could be a slapback delay, it could be a longer, more obvious ping pong delay, where the vocal can have that effect and it won't really be on the guitar. The guitar can sound a little more clean and normal. So that is one of the benefits of having the two-channel performance because you have a little more control over the effects. And of course, we didn't even touch the faders. I felt like we had a pretty good balance of the two, but I could turn the guitar up or down versus the vocal up or down as well. And that will give you some more control in the mix. So hopefully that gives you a picture of really what you're doing when you have a very simple one mic or two mic acoustic and guitar performance. To mix it, you're just using EQ to clean up frequencies, compression to even out performances, and reverb to give a sense of space that might sound better than your room and give you some stereo width because you have none when you do it this way. Now, there's a lot more that could be said about the recording process, the mixing process, even mastering. We didn't even talk about how to master these tracks and just put them a little bit more radio-ready polish on it, as it were. And I want to give you some tools that will really, really help you in your journey, because I don't know if you just caught this video and you haven't seen the other videos, but one thing I can give you right now that will help you in your journey is a guide I've put together. It's called my Radio Ready Song Guide. It's about 6 steps long. There's 6 main areas that I teach on, and recording is one of those areas, mixing is one of those areas, and there's 4 more. And I want to give you this guide absolutely free, because what it can be for you is like a companion resource to any of these videos or anything you're working on in your studio. If you have an idea for a song and you want to get it out there in the real world and you want it to sound good, this gives you the map to do that. So download your free guide. It's really easy to get. Just go to radioreadyguide.com. I'll put the link here in the video and down in the description box. And it's a free PDF, super simple. I keep mine on my phone. I reference it literally to see what I wrote. You can print it up if you're old school and keep it by your computer where you mix. Either way, it's chock full of tips, techniques, resources, and kind of a map to walk through anytime you want to release a piece of music. So check that out at radioreadyguide.com. As always, subscribe to the videos if you like them, and leave me a comment below. Let me know if this little mini-series has been helpful to you. I hope to hear some of your recordings, and I hope that it gets you making music and having more fun, which is the whole point of this thing anyway. I'll see you on another video real soon.